Hi guys. I thought I'd make another video instead of just posting pictures and trying to explain them via text. Might be a little bit easier, I guess, to kind of show you everything here and you can see what I'm talking about and I can point out everything. As far as the first thing I wanted to mention was C1. I looked at the schematic, I saw it, and I'm not 100% sure, but the only capacitor that I can see that's on the switch anywhere, as far as I can tell, is this guy right here. And according to that schematic, C1 is a completely different value than that. And neither of the leads from this guy come in contact with the chassis at all. It looks like it comes into one end of the positive lead for what would have originally been the FM mono input, and then runs from there out the other side, and then into a little tiny jump cable or jump wire, and then that wire just runs around to the other side of the switch. And you probably can't quite see where that's going, but it's just going right back into the switch again. It doesn't run to the chassis at all. There aren't any connections to the switch selector that run to the chassis at all, except for this white coaxial and the one beneath it, which I guess are pretty much the amp's inputs, after the selector. So there's that. I'm not sure if this amp is maybe not the exact same model as the one in the schematic. Maybe it's a variant. I'm not really sure. Another thing I wanted to point out that I didn't mention in the video I shot yesterday was the only things that I really changed here on this amp, other than doing the recap, of course, was these input wires. There's two, one on the bottom. You can't really see too well. They were running just like they are now, except for when you get to this last pot. This is the volume pot. They were actually running up and over it, and then down into the board here. The way they were soldered on the switch end, they were very high, and they just looked somewhat ridiculous. And this one on the top was so high, it would have poked out an extra half an inch at least, if not more. The one on the bottom, the other one, poked out the bottom so far that the amp couldn't even come close to laying flat like I have it now. So I desoldered both of those and resoldered them to the same positions, and just made them so they're on more of an angle instead of coming up and out, just sort of to the side and out. Another thing is this wire here that goes to the single cap on the chassis. The cap's in the same spot it was for the most part as the original one. The only thing I changed was this wire. Now the wire, I didn't have to cut it or anything to. I just soldered the cap to it. But it originally ran completely out. I mean, it just ran up in the air over the two output transformers, and then just kind of looped around on this side back into where it connects to the board here. I thought it looked ridiculous, and I didn't see a need for it. So I just cut it a bit shorter and just sort of tucked it in real low down here and just ran it, directly over to where the cap would be. So that's that. Hopefully neither of those would make a difference. I don't imagine they would, but you guys certainly know a lot more than I do. Here is the original multi-cap with the colors and everything listed. Red is the 200 microfarad, orange is the 100, green is the 40, and blue is the 30. And they're all 150 working volts except for the blue, which is 25. All the caps I replaced them with were 160 working volts or volts, whatever. And of course, the black is the common negative. And then here they are here. I just pretty much cut them. I have these two stripped because I tried testing it with that cap out. Well, this cap back in the circuit with the one I replaced it with out to see what happens. It didn't change anything. I might try wiring in this entire cap again later to see if that has an effect. I have no idea if it will or not. So that's that. Now if I flip this guy over, bear with me. Okay, here's all of the connections. Let me get my pen back. They'll probably be a little bit hard for you to see in the video, or even hard for me to see here, but here's the red wire. That was the original 220. or 200. That comes into here and then runs down right into the 220 cap. The orange wire, which is the next one, the 100, that runs over here. I got the solder joint under this liquid tape mess. Then that runs right into here, the positive of the 100. The green, which is this guy, that runs out as a solder joint under this more mess of electrical liquid tape stuff. Then out and directly into this guy, which is the 40. And the same thing for the last one, the blue, which is here, runs all the way up and then into this last one here, which is the 33 UF cap. And on the outside, or I guess the negative or common side, everything here is just soldered together. I made a few cuts and changes when I was just sort of testing with things the other couple of days, so it looks a little funky, but you know, these are all soldered into each other and then into one big kind of ball of solder here, and then into this black wire, which is the original common negative for the can cap. I tested the continuity on all of these. They've all got continuity with each other, and they've all got continuity with where this wire intersects to the board. So I guess that's that, and any more help you guys can come up with would be greatly appreciated. Sorry it took so long to get this video out. I just had a lot to do at work today. I think my next step would be, if I don't hear anything back, I might just try, because it won't be too hard to do, just forgetting all of these caps that I replaced, all the new caps, and then just wiring with some wire nuts back in the original orange cardboard multi-cap, just to see what will happen, because the amp worked fine before with that cap. So other than that and the couple wires I mentioned earlier, that's all that's been changed, besides being mounted, into this board here, and not just kind of sitting by itself on a table. So anyway, thanks again, and we'll see where it goes. Hopefully I can get this thing figured out with your help. Thanks again. Bye.